Flash, Supergirl, and Batwoman suffer ratings lows. Well, I guess that's not really news, but what the hell. So, here we are with a little article from Cosmic Book News on the subject. Yes, Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman continue to put up dismal ratings for the CW, while we all await the return of Superman and Lois, which shows you how it's done. But for some reason, these shows just can't get their mojo back, and some never had it, let's be honest. But so the news isn't surprising, yes. As the quality of writing on the CW DC shows has been on the decline for a while now. I'm sure quite a few are saying, what do you mean? It's CW stands for crap work. Yeah, and that's not entirely wrong. Yes, a lot of it was pretty cheap and silly and stupid. But in the case of The Flash, that wasn't really true. The Flash actually tried and stood apart from the others, even though it had the same template. You know, you got your superhero, and then you had your little nerd crew that would be sort of the intel backup from a computer. Although in the Flash's case, a couple of, like, with Vibe and whatnot, became superheroes themselves, even though they kind of ruined that too. But for a while there, the Flash was rolling pretty good, and I don't just mean it was an okay or good show. Some of the episodes were downright excellent, and then, oh boy, has it fallen far. And you know, quite a few things. In a lot of ways, probably it's been going too long. It should have ended a couple of seasons ago, and then it started to destroy itself with our current woke era. After what they did to one of their cast members over nothing, tweets, good God. And then, of course, COVID just beat the living crap out of it. And to where it's reduced to a simple formula that they've used quite a bit. Now, repetition is the biggest problem for shows overall, and that was no different from this one. And The Flash, even in its good days, was guilty of that. And that, you know, he kept going up against evil speedsters. It was just too much of the same plot. But also this constant, it's a means by which to get around superhero action, which can be expensive to do. So you rely on soap opera type dialogue and whatnot. And they did that quite a bit. But again, when that becomes repetitive, it cuts into the overall narrative of your show. You can't have the same discussion of your feelings between two different characters over and over again. You've already resolved that. Then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. I mean, granted, there's been time travel in The Flash, but that's not what they're doing. You know? And it's just the same scene, and it deteriorates over every time they do it. So, really, I think for the most part, you know, not beyond just the stupid woke crap that's destroying everything, but it's also just, I think The Flash ran its course some time ago, and they should have ended it on a good high note, you know. But another element of these CW shows, I've often thought, especially in this era of streaming and whatnot, there's too many episodes because they don't have the material for it. And if they shrunk them down, kept them tight and solid, would have been more beneficial. Plus, it'd probably be even helpful for their cast members, because even Grant Gustin has discussed this, that he had to pass on other projects that he would have loved to have done because of his obligations to the show. So, and at this point, there's nothing good for him to get out of it. So it's got to be just, and to me, it looks like it's painful for him to keep doing it, you know. But job's a job, you know. He's got bills to pay and all that. But geez Louise, it can't be any good now. So anyway, they continue about how, yes, The Flash has suffered its lowest ratings to date, as the past two episodes saw only around 740,000 viewers tune in. Oh boy, the show usually averages closer to the million mark. Yeah, it did. It was the most popular show of the series until Superman came along. But and for a while, it deserved that. It deserved even better because it was good. And then nothing, you know, and then it crashes. So Supergirl, Batwoman, things have finally caught up with the Flash, and fans are tuning out. So now, Supergirl initially had potential. There were some good elements there, and then it just went, again, primarily for wokeness and stupid stuff like that. Just dragged it down to where that's all it was. There was nothing else there. Every now and then you would see that there could have been a potential for good storytelling in it, but that wasn't the priority. And it's just trash. And then Batwoman, well, good Lord. Batwoman never had a chance. That's all it ever was. It was just, look at our token, and both seasons are that. So, who cares? The other shows now, Supergirl's been canceled, and it's ending, and then we got Superman, which is just, you can't believe it's on the same network. And that's, Superman is good, and it's a fun show, but it's just such a breath of fresh air after several years of this crap, to where now it looks amazing, And so, but hey, I'll take it. So, really, these shows, I think they should just end. There's other characters they could build shows around, but I don't see how they can keep going with this stuff with no viewers. So, yeah, Kavanaugh and Carlos Valdez, and especially Carlos Valdez, his back and forth with Grant Gustin's Barry was really good and solid, and I don't see any reason to continue. So his replacements are terrible. They can't act, and it's not going to work. So there's been a renewal for season 8, but that it's got to be the last, and that Grant Gustin may leave. But also this might get replaced by a person of color actor. They're going to introduce his son from the future to do the Impulse story, which again is a repetitive plot they've already done with his daughter. But since that timeline no longer exists, I guess, hey, we can do it again, only this time it'll be with his son. And the idea being that, Barry dies or something, and so his son becomes the new Flash. And then they cancel the show because no one's going to watch it. So, of course, Supergirl, no one cares. There's no point in tuning in, and it's over. Even though the sad thing about it is that there had been some potential there a long time ago, but that was given up. And of course, Batwoman never had a chance. It's this bizarre joke. The only great thing that comes out of Batwoman are these YouTubers who review it. And it's pretty funny. So there's that. It'd be terrible when this show ends and you no longer get those, Although it appears to be quite painful for these reviewers to sit through that crap. But, there you go. Black Lightning is another one that got canceled. Black Lightning is another sad story because there was actual potential there. Batwoman they never gave a chance to. But Black Lightning actually had some good elements to it, but it also had some very horrendous elements to it. And that was it. But it's had its run, and this will be its last season and all that. But, they destroyed it before it ever got a shot. So, yeah, the mystery is Batwoman. How does this one keep surviving when it is the absolute worst show they produced out of all these really crappy shows? Yet the worst one looks to survive because it's been renewed for a third season. But it's like you have to chalk it up to the politically correct agenda of Hollywood. But it's also that environment and that atmosphere of they would just be too embarrassed to cancel their super duper woke show that's even more super duper woke than Supergirl, and so I guess they would be embarrassed if they had to. But how long can you keep putting a show that doesn't make any money? I don't know. I guess time will tell. But anyway, there we go. Just a little, really nothing to see here. Same old sad story. And it didn't have to be this way. Yeah, CW, yeah. It's even worse than that. So that's how bad things got. Meanwhile, Superman and Lois are coming, and the only thing about that is just so terrified that it's going to be dragged down by this same crap eventually. Hopefully, they'll end it before it gets to that point. But in this era, it's an amazing thing to see a show like that. There's also Stargirl, which that first season, it's got its silliness in it, but it's a masterpiece compared to Supergirl or Batwoman. So it doesn't, again, it does not have to be this way. You could do fairly decent shows, with, character development. How about that? Plots that make sense, that have some logical points to them. And not lecture people with this idiot cult-like thinking that you fight racism by being racist, which is poisoning everything in entertainment today, among other things, of course. So, yeah, that's the sad part about it. It didn't have to be this way. But it was, and it is, but hopefully tide is turning with Superman and Stargirl. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.